Hey y'all, it's Amanda with Tap Mom and the Bake Brigade. Hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. I do sincerely apologize that I haven't had a video out in a few days. I hadn't really felt that good, and I'm not as strong as Kayla. I don't know how Kayla does videos when she feels so bad. I really don't. But she manages it. She's a lot stronger person than I am. I'll admit that. Because her sicknesses and illnesses are way worse than mine, and I just get to where I can't sit here and talk in front of a camera, and it just gets to be difficult to do. Just have been having some stomach issues, and a little setback in my recovery after the surgery. I'm afraid I jumped to and started doing some housework type things, doing laundry, and Saturday John and I got in here and went through my yarn stash, and went completely through my yarn stash because I wanted to de-stash and get rid of some things that I don't reach for, that I've collected over the last few years, that I've had a long time and that I wasn't going to use, and just collect them and sell some yarn. And so I don't remember how many tote boxes I had when we started. I think something, I don't know, but I think, see, I know I sold 2 boxes of yarn already, and you know, the killer part is that I turned around and put a Premier order in with the money I made from selling some of the yarn. So I got rid of some yarn to buy some more yarn that I actually wanted. So it's funny how that works, right? But yeah, so we went through and did all that. But I still have tote boxes, but not nearly what I had before. And I went through all my cubes. Y'all can't see, but I went through all the cubes and resorted them and pulled out yarn that ended up going. I still got a couple of boxes on Marketplace that haven't sold yet. So maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. But I'm selling them locally because I can't afford postage. So one of them is those Ogo, that bulky Ogo yarn that I bought last year that I thought I was going to be able to use, but because of my hand, it created hand issues with my carpal tunnel. It's a very dense yarn, and I didn't realize it would be so dense and so difficult to work with my hands. And so I ended up with like 15 Ogos that I can't do anything with. So and it's really heavy to try to mail that. It would cost a fortune to try to mail that. So that's why I'm trying to sell it locally. So I'll leave, so that I can recoup a little bit about my money, but it is what it is, I guess. Either, I don't know, I'll either find a way to use it, or someone will eventually buy it from me. But and the rest of it's just yarn that I don't see myself using. But I put in my cubes what I felt like I want to be using relatively soon rather than later. And so I put, that's what I'm putting in here in the cubes now, and what I put in there, yarn that I felt like I would be using pretty soon. So that's why, I don't know, and I cleaned out stuff that I didn't think I'd be using really soon, but that I would eventually get to and put back in the boxes. But anyway, my stomach's a little bit better, so I just struggle with not being able to go do certain functions that normal people can do. I have to take medication to be able to go, and I lose track of time and when's the last time I went, and then I have to take medication to go, and it just becomes a whole production, and it makes me depressed, and I've been struggling with a bit of depression as well. And you know, the killer part is the kidney stone part of things has been better. You know, that part has been cleared up and has gotten much better. I had some back issues, because you know, when you're under anesthesia and they have to move you around when you're under anesthesia, and you're a big person, they have to manipulate, you know, move your body around, and this leaves you sore the next day and the next week. I've been, every time I have to go under anesthesia and they have to move me from place to place, I always end up sore from that, because I'm a big person, and you know, it takes a bit to move me. And so I'm not ignorant to that. I know that's why I'm sore afterwards, because it takes a bit for all those people to have to move me. And so my back, you know, was really sore, and my midsection was really sore, and so that took, you know, several days to feel better, and then I coupled that with me trying to catch up on laundry, so that my oldest son couldn't have all his work clothes and regular clothes done and clean. I was really behind on that, and so I had to catch that up, and so I did all that Saturday and part of Sunday, and so I'm afraid I just kind of, my video making kind of went by the wayside while I was catching up on that kind of thing. And I'm just drinking strawberry water, by the way. But also I've been trying to figure out how in the world to make the sleeves smaller on my Hexagon cardigan while I'm doing the pattern, because I don't want to, you know, I know there's lots of tutorials out there that show you how to decrease the sleeves after you get it either halfway made or you know, put together or whatever. Then you can go decrease the sleeves and make it smaller there. But what I wanted to do, because this, you know, with the granny stitch Hexagon cardigan, is I wanted to do it while I'm making the hexagon, like I do with the solid stitch. See, when you do the solid stitch, when there's a cheat you can do, at least the way I did it when I made my son's sweaters last year, is there's a little cheat you can do, a little decrease stitch you can do as you're going around each row. You can, you know, decrease a stitch each row, and then now it doesn't make it look real great as you're doing it, but then when you go to fold it in half, boom, your sleeve's already decreased, and you're done. You don't have to do anything else to it. It's done as you're going and doing your rows. And so I figured that out last year with the solid stitch, with the, you know, when you're doing the hexagon, the cardigan. So I was really busting my brain the last couple of days going, okay, well, how do I do that with the granny stitch, because it's done quite a bit differently. Because instead of going and double crocheting into every stitch, of course you do clusters. And so I was really going at it last night, and I think I got it figured out. But the thing is I wanted to figure out how to do it and then explain it to y'all, and maybe a little maybe even a little tutorial. But it's not that easy. What I discovered was it's a row by row fix. It's as you go, as the rows get bigger, as I got going along, the fix changes. So the decrease changes, you basically have to just figure it up as you go. And so let me pull this out here and show you. I'm gonna try to explain it, but it's really not easy to explain. I don't know how to explain it to where it's gonna make any sense to anybody. But the catch is, if you can decrease the stitches between two of your points, because if you've ever done a hexagon cardigan before, you know that it has 6 points. A hexagon has 6 points, okay? I'm kind of in the middle, in a mid row here, so you see that I'm mid row. But a hexagon has 6 points. But the trick with decreasing your stitches so that when you go to fold it, it has your sleeve already decreased. And this is a miniature version, okay? See? Sleeve already decreased to where when you get to the end, you don't have huge bell sleeves. You have a normal looking sleeve at the end. So the trick is to have two of your points, two of your corners, not be that far apart. Because see, this is 2 corners right here. This is two points of my hexagon. This is 2, but see, the space between these 2 is quite a bit different. That's because as I've gone around, I've decreased the number of stitches between these 2. And I've had to do it a little bit different each time. So it's not, you can sort of tell that I've done that, but it's not incredibly noticeable. So I'd love to tell you how I did it, or to even show you how I did it, but it was so off the cuff and so fly by the seat of my pants that I don't know that I could even show you. Like now, one of them, I had like, say there was this is where my stitches were supposed to go, and I took a double crochet here and a double crochet here, and I cinched it together, and then I hopped over to the corner to do my three doubles, chain 2 and 3 doubles. So what I did is I cinched a whole little spot by putting a double in one side of where the stitch was supposed to go and a double in the other, and then I just closed it over and went to the next corner. And that's essentially what I've had to do. And so it's just about pulling that, pulling one of your stitches instead and just skipping and close and decreasing it. But the way I'm having to decrease it is really hard to explain. So, because I'm not a seasoned crocheter. So someone else, I could probably see me doing that and say, oh, and then they could explain to me what I just did. Because I'm making it up on the fly. So I don't even know how to explain or break it down what I just did. I know what I did is working. I know what this is a scrap yarn, so this was me just working, trying to fix a problem. Because as much as I love this big rainbow cardigan, I don't love the sleeves. So I wanted to fix that problem for myself going forward and not end up in the same not loving the sleeves situation. Plus there's some folks that I would like to make cardigans for that would probably appreciate it if they didn't have sleeves that needed their own apartments. So that's why I wanted to fix this issue. But it looks like, based on me trying for the last couple of days, that this is going to be a row by row, fix it as I go kind of issue. It's not something that I can just, really explain in a very easy to understand kind of way. I really wanted to, but because I'm not the seasoned crocheter that most of y'all are, I don't know how. I can only tell you that if you can minimize the stitches between two of these points, and see, this is my starting point of my row. And so the tutorial that I used when back last year when I first started doing these hexagon cardigans, when she showed the decrease for hers, she started her decrease after the second point. And so that's where I got it, you know, where I got the way I do it. And so basically, if you can keep two of these points, you know, fairly close together, then you just, you know, fold it like so, and it will give you that more slender sleeve. So, and then it will automatically do what you want it to do. I hope this helps. I hope this makes sense. It makes sense to me as far as going forward and what I'm going to do with my future cardigans that I'm going to make. I've got my fix in my head. I wish I could put it on paper and explain it, or put it in a video to where it makes sense. I hope that my jibber jabber sort of explaining in this video gives you some sort of explanation as to what I've done. Maybe. But basically that's what I've been doing. And like I said, every round has been different. So every round I go around, I've had to decrease that stitch. And the stitch has been right in this area here. And so I'm just minimizing how many extra stitches I get with every round between these 2 points. I know these 2 points need to grow as I do the rounds and make the project bigger, but I need to minimize how much it happens to keep it from getting a really big sleeve. So it's just on the fly. So, you know, basically decrease here while you're making the hexagon. So however, you know, you work your decrease is up to you. When I fold it, you can't tell that I've decreased. So it's not noticeable. When you fold it, you can't tell that there's been a decrease there. So it's not terribly noticeable the way I've done it. And I started the decrease, and I believe it was row 3. So that's the ticket when you're doing these, is to start your decrease with row 3. You can't start it, you know, really far into the hexagon. You got to start it early so that you can get that sleeve shape early. So that's the whole thing about getting it done, you know, and making it look like it was meant to be that way the whole time, is to start it early. So do it around your 3rd row of your hexagon. Just start doing that decrease between the 2nd and 3rd point, and it should work out for you. So however you do it is up to you, but that's my recommendation, and that's my advice, and take it as you will. I hope it works out. Let me know in the comments if this video was helpful to you, as far as if you are going to tackle the hexagon cardigan. I will link the tutorial to the one that got me started making these. Now she does use bulky yarn, like a 7 bulky yarn in her video, but I'm just one of those people that I can look at a tutorial and adapt it to what I want. So of course this is 4-weighted yarn. I've never I did use a 5 bulky weight yarn when I made a cardigan once, but it wasn't based on her tutorial. So I haven't used a 7 bulky yarn to make it based on her tutorial. I adapted her tutorial to meet my needs using 4-weight yarn. So and you know, it's doable. So just because she uses bulky yarn in the tutorial does not mean you have to use bulky yarn. You can use whatever hook size you feel comfortable with whatever yarn you feel comfortable with. But I did adapt her tutorial to my needs, but I'm just going to leave the tutorial in the description box so that y'all can see where I got my original ideas from. So where I just kind of used her tutorial more as a suggestion than an actual, you know, I didn't completely go with her tutorial as far as when I made the boys' sweaters and when I've made other sweaters. I just mainly used hers as a kind of a template and then customized it as I went. It was just something as more of an inspiration, not necessarily as a guide. So anyway, I hope y'all are having a good day. I hope this helps. I love y'all, and so does Jesus. And please remember to adopt, don't shop. Your best friend could be waiting for you at the shelter or the rescue. And I will see you again soon. Bye now.